Okay, so stuff we picked up. So distraction cape. This cape lowers all an enemy's perception while the wearer's fellowship bonus within a 5-cell radius. Gimpy's got, I think, got the best fellowship at 65, but his cape is Von V cloak. So as long as he's at full health, he has +5 to all his characteristics. So he's the only one that can wear that too. So next, fellowship is 30. So each heroic act used in battle increases the wearer's dodge by 20% until the end of combat. Don't really want him to lose that. Magenta, like 30. Wherein their allies are immune to damage from the wearer's grenades. Sure. Pascal. Increases melee attack damage against demon enemies by +2 if the wearer has the dogmatic conviction. Damage increased by +4 instead. His fellowship? Oh, his fellowship. Oh, he's wounded currently. Normally it'd be 30. Or +6 or whatever. Her cape. Commander Cloak. Increases the range of officer archetype abilities by 1 cell. She doesn't usually get that close to people. I'm not sure what perception's actually going to help with anyway. While character perceives their surroundings, so high perception can pick off straight bolt or shell casings between day-to-day morales, right? Deceitful, it also affects awareness skill and reduces enemy dodge chance against the character's attacks. So, by reducing their perception, they don't dodge as well, right? I like her cloak better anyway for her. Gimpy's was, yeah, that one. Oh, she was 30. Doesn't really throw grenades. Go from there. Okay, next item. So this is a navigator staff. Oops.
You need to get up and step away from the computer. That was really bad.
So the one on the left is the one she's currently using. So the Bloodhound staff, which is devastating. The first use of an attacking navigator power per turn does not set the power to cooldown and does not count toward the attack limit per turn. That's an awesome staff. This one, infusing 7. Allies targeted by navigator powers can gain a +7 bonus to all their characteristics until the end of their next turn. Navigator's next turn. It stacks and is prolonged until the navigator's next turn every time it stacks. So it's nice buffing, but the other one, the Bloodhound staff, allows her to do multiple attacks per turn, which can be devastating. So we'll leave that the way it is. Improved flak vests. Reduces incoming damage on average for 25%. It's like 10. But she'll dodge 0% of the attacks. The other one's 15. So the light armor is better for her. Flak vests. He's using light armor. She's Eldari armor. He's got heavy armor. She's got whatever she's wearing. The improved flak vest already is. His armor is 36%. This is 40. But it also increases his tech use and reject the flesh rank. I don't know what his reject the flesh rank is. I don't even know where that is. Because it's not here. It's not in here. And you see is reject the flesh rank. Nicole, archetype. Reject the flesh. Where are you? Talents. Reject flesh 1. This creature gains +1 deflection, plus 10% armor, and suffers -5% to dodge. So that's reject the flesh. So that's only 1 currently. So that's his armor. So it's only +2 to his tech use. His tech use is currently at 85. This is actually better armor for him to be wearing right now. Simply because the other one would be better if he had a higher reject the flesh level. That would be better, but even then, it's questionable. Anyway, main pattern chain axe. So, better than his current axe. Oh, axes have a special attack that inflicts bleeding. Oh, and it's a power weapon as opposed to a chain weapon. Armor penetration is better on the axe, the Omniscient axe, anyway. Plus a brutal strike. The big area effect. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, let's up the stairs.
True power.
That was quick.
Time to strike back.
Not sure what's going on here. The Navigator.
The world will bow.
Navigator's throne. The handles are extremely worn and with visible marks left by nails, evidence of the terrifying hours spent locked in battle with the powers of the warp. The leader of the ravaged ship's crew wipes the sweat from his brow in a motion characteristic of navigators, not with his whole hand, but with 2 fingers moving from left to right and back so that not to touch the third eye by accident. This movement is the only sign of fatigue he allows himself. His posture is immaculate, shoulders wide, eyes front, as if he did not emerge from a grueling battle, and is simply greeting you on the bridge on an uneventful day. My greetings, your lordship. There is no need for introductions. I know the heirs of the Von V line by sight. I am Han of House Cassini, a navigator on this vessel, and as a senior surviving officer, I assumed command after the incident. Lady Navigator, what an unexpected and pleasant meeting, considering the circumstances. He decorously dips his head to Cassia. I have not had the honor of being personally acquainted with you, but of course I know the emblem of House Orselio. How fares the Honorable Regent? Cassia Orselio, she offers a reserved nod. Cordiality will not disguise the ice-blue coldness of your words, Navigator Han. However, I will tell Regent Aranto that you inquired after his health. You may pass on my best wishes to Novator Cassini. And now let's set the pleasantries aside. I'm sure the rogue trader would like to ask you a few questions. I can read. As Hans speaks, others glare at you with dour attention. Up close you can plainly see that every one of them is a mutant. Their faces and bodies bear the mark of incredibly grotesque deformities, same as the muttering madman who attacked you. However, Hans' associates seem perfectly clear-eyed, showing no signs of madness. What happened to the ship and the crew, Han? The ship is assigned to the port of Dargona some time ago. The captain was instructed to deliver a package, urgently, by hand, to you, your lordship. We were even shown a pic of your face. Navigator voice seems calm, yet there is a tension in his eyes which are trained on you. The disaster struck during the warp jump. I will never know all the details as I was preoccupied with my primary duties, but for some reason, the captain decided to open the package. That, as you may have noticed, had a most destructive impact on the crew. He frowns. The package contained a chaos artifact, a chaos bomb, if you will. The moment it was removed from its protective cocoon, the crew began to lose their mind and mutate. The first to be afflicted was the captain and the senior officers, but the effect spread with incredible speed. Every deck was consumed by it, every last one. The raging mutants, no longer sane, damaged many systems. The ship was in distress and would have almost certainly been destroyed had I not resorted to making an emergency exit from the warp. The people you see here are the only survivors, or rather the only ones who were able to retain both their lives and sanity. I gathered everyone I could, isolated the source of danger, and sent out a distress signal. We were adrift, waiting for help to come and fighting off mad crew members. Then you arrived. So the chaos bomb package was meant for me. Who's the sender? As far as I am aware, the order came from Conrad Voigtveer, who is the bad guy. The master whispers in the rogue trader's retinue. It is likely that he arranged the delivery, either personally or through intermediaries. Abelard's face turns a deep puce. That blasted traitor beat us to Dargonis and is now free to act with impunity. It would not surprise me to find out that this was the work of sorcery. How else could he have reached the world in such a short time? Han pauses, then adds bluntly, almost brazenly, "Your reaction suggests that you were not expecting a package of this sort. That is good to know. I had almost convinced myself that the rogue trader was deliberately collecting chaos artifacts. Do not dare accuse me of colluding with the chaos. Do not even suggest it. I am not tainted by chaos, and I know nothing of this package. I give you my word as a rogue trader. Here's a room do not concern you. Not tainted by chaos, and I know nothing of this package. I give you my word as a rogue trader." He gives you a searching look, then bows his head. "I beg your pardon, your lordship. I saw the terrible death of the entire crew with my own eyes. I was forced to bring the ship out of warp by means of an emergency maneuver, and then I had to fight my former comrades, insane and twisted. I am tired. Me too, from all this reading. However, the sender wanted all of this." And makes a sweeping gesture at the destruction and the corpses of crew members around him, "to happen to your ship, not ours. Were you not affected by the mutations of madness?" "Well, that depends. I was born a mutant, you see." He smiles grimly and warily. "Navigators are taught to resist the influence of chaos, and so I have been, as best I could. But I will be frank with you. I cannot be certain that I have avoided it completely. There have been no visible indications yet." Awareness test succeeded. All signs point to Han telling the truth, but you also notice clear evidence just how difficult it is for him to struggle against the corruption. He is extremely tired, practically exhausted. Where's the artifact now? The tension in his posture and gaze becomes even more noticeable. I have placed it inside a protective sarcophagus, more reliable than the previous repository. Unfortunately, an artifact as powerful as this one could not be destroyed under these circumstances, or rather, I had no assurances that it would not disintegrate every one of us and scatter us across several light hours of neighboring space. But once we are off the ship, I will absolutely find a way to destroy the vile thing. I would still like to take a look at the artifact. Face it, you can't leave the ship. The corruption of the chaos bomb did inflict you. We could lay mines in what remains of the ship, blast it along with the artifact from a safe distance. I have the resources and the knowledge to do it. I should take a look at the artifact. Suspicion mounts in Hand's eyes. You want to see the trinket that nearly wiped out the whole ship. Why? I have seen enough to stop anyone else from coming anywhere near it. I will give my life if I must to prevent that thing from hurting any more people. Fine. Bloat up. Your words give Hand pause, but he seems convinced. He relaxes a little, but then asks, cautiously as if testing the waters, what about me and my crew? Will you take us with you? You can come with me with the remnants of the crew. Be terminated. These people are beyond salvation. They're corrupted by chaos. Taking you aboard my ship, there my word is law, and no one will dare take issue with you despite the mutations. Beyond salvation, they're corrupted by chaos. He jerks his chin up. These are my people. We lived through this nightmare together. I'm responsible for them. All of us leave this ship, or none of us do. You're all dictated by chaos. Death to the mutants. Do I want to take him aboard my ship? Do I need another navigator is the question. You've all been tempted by chaos. Of course, that camera is situated way back here. We can't see anything. I can't move it.
No!
It's okay. We just wanted your stuff. Ooh, look, a plasma gun. Quilla pendant. Plus 10 to willpower. If the wearer has conviction dogmatic, they also gain plus 5 fellowship. Container is covered in a fine ornament of symbols, along with the seal of Navis Nobilite, and the personnel coat of arms of House Cassini stand out. The container is closed and sealed, and the lock does not seem particularly tricky. If they order to lay the mines, this thing must be destroyed. Unseal the container. This will go well. As you touch the sarcophagus, a slight shiver runs through you, and the lock gives in easily, but it feels like the temperature in the room drops several degrees the moment the lid opens. Inside is an ordinary Vox. A series of scratches run along the casing, forming odd symbols. Tiny red balls are sliding and rolling between them. It is blood, behaving like mercury. You feel slightly nauseous. A cacophony of rasping, muttering voices emerges somewhere at the edge of your consciousness, whispering unintelligible words. Pascal, with the pincers of his mechadendrites snapping loudly, Pascal bites out. The spirit of this machine has been wounded by something unknown. I sense it in its electromagnetic respiration. I recommend immediate purification. This thing must be destroyed along with the ship. Keep inspecting. The device seems vaguely familiar. Could this be your Vox, the one the mutineers took from you that day Theodora died? Upon your gaze, the balls of blood begin to scurry along the casing frantically, then suddenly go still. The Vox springs to life, and through hoarse crackling lets out a series of short phrases. The voice that speaks them is just as well known to you as the device is the voice of the former Magister Whispers, your rival and a Chaos collaborator. Conrad, you know who this is. You know I'm close and I will never leave you be. Enjoy the power you stole from me while you can, but I'm not done with you yet. Abelard winces as if from a toothache. Looks Look who decided to resurface. It will be my honor to rid us of this pursuer if he ever comes within shot. So few words, but so many emotions. I hear the echo of deep-seated, long-nurtured enmity, the kind that exists only between lovers or blood relations. The voice in the box falls silent. A moment later, a torrent of voices crashes against your sanity, yet fails to do you any harm. Relying on the lessons you learned in your past life, you instinctively clear your mind of all thought and your heart of all doubt to shield yourself from the dark powers. You have parried the strike aimed at you. You realize you have fallen under the effects of the artifact. It appears that your Vox was enchanted with your own blood, which Conrad stole on the day of your confrontation. The artifact was supposed to work like a siphon, draining the soul of whoever opened the container and of everyone around them, but the crew of the ill-fated ship took the brunt of the attack. The residual effect of the artifact are not strong enough to do you any serious harm. Blow it up. It takes the game, the floor is lava, seriously. But the floor isn't lava.
Keep a sharp eye.
Whenever the wearer uses a navigator power, they gain plus 50% dodge until the end of the round stacks. End of the round, and it stacks.
The world trembles beneath my feet.
It is now? But is it really?
I tread a path unexplored.
Totally safe, right? Another nearby eruption?
Powers unseen uncover my path.
What are we talking about, Skybird? Ten commerce. Where has dogmatic adherent or above their lower Imperium will depend on fellowship instead of intelligence. Where also gains plus 10 lower Imperium. Oh, Iceland. It's commerce currently 95. That's from the chart as pendant, so. Oh, that's right, that's 4. Oh, we leveled up. She has boots. There's 2 more enemies in a single attack. The attack doesn't spend, twice, no big deal. Right out this one. They gain plus 15% dodge until the end of the round, and it stacks. So, that. Boots. So this plasma gun already has a plasma gun, so that's no change. Power would be normally be 30. What about her? Yeah. More willpower. Boots we just took off. She has feet. He doesn't, though. Sorry, don't they have feet? He has nothing on his feet. And 2 or more enemies with a single attack. He doesn't really kill that many things with a single attack. Let him throw more grenades, though. believe we're done here. Or not quite.
Embrace true power.
You missed the loot. Where's the loot?
Mask engaged.
No. Mask off. Mask off.
Mask disengaged.
There we go. Okay, let's level up. Yep.
There is a fervor in my soul.
Fellowship, ballistic skill, agility, willpower, weapon skill, or toughness. More fellowship. Psi rating 2? That's... Oh, you were already at Psi rating 2. Access to new psychic powers also strengthens damaging psychic powers. There we go. So, more fire. Basically what that said is more fire. An opening. If an enemy suffers a critical hit from one of the assassin's allies, at the start of the assassin's turn, a new opening is created on the enemy, on whichever side is closest to the assassin. Inevitable innovation. Each use of aim for the opening on the same target reduces that target's dodge and dodge reduction by 10% and it stacks. An eye for the unscathed. Whenever the assassin attacks an enemy that has full wounds, the assassin gains plus 20% dodge and dodge reduction against that enemy until the end of the assassin's next turn. Perfect opening. Gains plus lethality chance to deal 5% of the target's max wounds more damage to an opening. Specific assassin parameter that is equal to dodge or dodge reduction, whichever is higher. Mean 100%. 100% chance to deal more damage. Bringer of Doom. Whenever this assassin attacks an enemy with a single target attack, this attack reduces the target's armor and dodge by 10%. How a perfect opening. I mean, that just doesn't miss. And it does 5% of the target's max wounds more damage. So if they have 100 damage, it does 5 more. Oh no, it's a percentage more. Plus 5% of their... Yeah, so 100% would be 5. Or 100 health would be 5. Sure. Agility, perception, intelligence, or weapon skill. Agility's at 45. Perception's at 62. What's that stuff? Their initiative, dodge, chance, and reaction. And get her agility up to 50. Abelard. Mr. Arch Militant. Exploit weakness. The Archmilitant attacks targets that have their armor reduced by any effects applied by the Archmilitant's allies and deals more damage. When the Archmilitant attacks the targets that have their deflection reduced by any effect, they do plus 2 damage. Always ready. Begins combat with 2 stacks of versatility. Critical versatility. Gains a plus 3% bonus to critical damage to every stack of versatility. Dependable. Plus 2% bonus to armor for every stack of versatility. Preferred targets. Attacks targets that have their dodge reduced by any effects applied by their allies. They gain 10% critical hit chance. If the parry reduced, it's more critical damage. It's always ready. Combat with 2 stacks of versatility. I like that I don't tell you what versatility actually is here. I need to be reminded what that is. We'll go with it. Strength, toughness. More toughness, more strength. More agility, weapon skill. In all forms of combat, increases their parry and reduces enemy parry and dodge chance against melee attacks. It also increases chances of scoring a critical hit in me. Oh yeah, let's do that. Magenta. Ballistic skill, agility, strength, willpower. You can pick out a straight bolt or shell, right? Reduces their chance to dodge against her. Yeah, let's do that. Share the spoils. Whenever an ally kills prey, the bounty hunter gains half of the bonuses granted by hunt down the prey. Gruesome kill. Whenever the prey is killed, all enemies in a 10-cell radius around the prey have their agility reduced by 5 times the prey's difficulty tier for 2 rounds. Heightened concentration. Scores a critical hit, they gain a +4 armor penetration until the end of combat. Stacks. Here's the armor. So there really is a volcanic eruption going on in Iceland. Is it a huge deal, or doesn't that happen on a fairly common basis there? Common, you know, like Hawaii common. Enemies killed by a critical hit scored by the bounty hunter or their ally gains damage for 2 rounds. Well, this time rather than massive load of ash shutting down the airspace. It's a huge deal for those who used to live in the town. Well, he didn't tell me it was right there in the town. Was probably... So is the town like gone? Is it under lava, or is... I mean, I'm not familiar with Iceland in their locations of towns next to volcanoes, which baffles me every time I hear about this stuff. It's like, the town, there's a volcano right next to this town. Why is that town there in the first place? There's a volcano right there. Don't you know how this works? A fissure opened today virtually on the town. Well, that's not good. Let's do height now. Pierce the armor. Yeah, that one. within 100 meters. I know how far a meter is. It's kind of a new thing. How is that a new thing? Some bizarre reason an active volcano is a tourist attraction. Oh, I know. Welcome to the stream, Hindsight. Active volcanoes draw people in for some reason. Keep in mind that, here in the United States, one of our states is Hawaii. Hawaii is basically volcanic islands, right? Well, the main island is basically nothing but a big volcano. Yet people insist on living on it and then wonder why they get earthquakes and lava coming through their living rooms. So and Iceland is pretty much the same idea. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. It's basically the same idea, and I don't understand why people want to live in that situation. It's bizarre. And yes, this is coming from somebody who lives in California. So, but earthquakes are not even the same. From what I can tell, earthquakes and volcanoes are not the same deal. Probably worse off with the Yellowstone that has never gone up in human history. If Yellowstone goes off, we're all screwed. So don't worry about that one. You can worry about it if you want, but don't worry about it. It's overdue. Yeah, they always say that. The big one, the big earthquake here in California is overdue. They've been saying it's been overdue since I've lived here, which is over 40 years. And yet it hasn't happened. We've had other earthquakes, but not the big one. The big one being in quotes. So if it happens, it happens. There's nothing you can do about it. But at least with volcanoes, you know where the issue is. Earthquakes, you don't know where they're going to hit. Volcanoes, it's active. You don't really want to be there. That's the confusion part for me. Because earthquakes can hit anywhere. Volcanoes don't. But the Campo Flegrei outside of Naples, no, that would be huge for Europe. See, we're all in trouble. We just don't realize it. You don't think it's something you just don't think about. Because there's really no point in thinking about it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But again, volcanoes, they're avoidable. For the most part. Point of interest. Bonuses are increased by intelligence plus fellow divided by 2% if the area was not moved for 2 rounds. Oh, that's right. Intelligence plus fellowship bonus. So that's for... Well, oh, I need more fellowship. Oh, it's supposed to be... It's 4. It's supposed to be at 3. So it's supposed to be 7 total normally. So 3% if the area is not moved for 2 rounds. Vesuvius is building up to a Plinian eruption. Oh, Skybird. Iceland ring. The eruption happened in Iceland. Using a stratagem on a rear area also makes the allies in that area the enemy's lowest priority target for 1 round. Crossfire zone. Using a stratagem on a front line area grants allies in the area bonus increased dodge against other allies' attacks. During zone. Using a stratagem combat tactics area grants all allies in the area plus 4 deflection against the next melee hit they suffer. Time combat tactics is affected by stratagem. All allies in that area gain plus 1 movement point for the following turn, stacks with itself. Personal zone. Allies, including the Grand Strategist in the same combat tactics area with the Grand Strategist gain perception and agility. In the same combat tactics area. Sure. So we've determined he needs higher intelligence and fellowship based on stuff. So his intelligence is at 40 already. So let's boost up his fellowship a little bit to 35. All indications suggest the same type as 79 AD. So a big party is what you're trying to say. Her fellowship and ballistics. She doesn't do ballistics, really. Fellowship, sort of, maybe? Let's up her toughness so she's got a few more hit points. Because they seem to be picking on her a little bit more than normal. Toughness. Oh, didn't do this part. Her fun navigator stuff. Vespasian will take care of us? I sure hope so. That hasn't been used in used as combat. The navigator gains +2 perception until the end of combat. Tonicity. Deals +1 additional damage for every 5 bonus characteristic of the navigator's currently equipped staff. +1 additional damage for every 5. Currently her staff is like being +15, so it'll be +3 damage. Castigating, fusing, and devastating count as characteristics for this talent. Okay. Mastery of time. Gains an extra turn. Navigate. Whenever a creature in combat gains an extra turn, the navigator gains a stacking +5 bonus to willpower until the end of combat. We use those a lot. Open to the warp. Enemies affected by the navigator's ability suffering a stacking -10 penalty to the next resistance test. Stuff. Pass unscathed. It's higher than agility. Oh, sorry. Perception is higher than agility. Their dodge is calculated using perception instead. Oh, look, it is. Currently, her dodge is 30%. Perception. Pass unscathed. Make her dodge more. Yeah, so that's a 30% boost to dodge. Okay. Crazy. Now can we leave?
Let's seize the opportunity.
Back to space. There's a gutted void ship. Off we go. Silence of Mare Segret. Oh, it's orange? That's fairly thing. And there's Janus. That's one of our planets. Been down here yet. I don't see a way of getting down there, though. Let's see. Guess we're going this way. It looks dangerous. Reduce route difficulty by using 2 points. Apologies, Lord Captain. The forces report that your pet Aldari is in a foul mood and is moving toward the captain's bridge. We didn't dare to stop her, but I expect that you have a difficult conversation ahead of you. Why? Our pet Aldari. That's funny. Uh-oh. She comes.
Please spare me a brief moment of your time, Elantak.
She quietly appears beside the throne. Exhaustion and anger set upon her brow.
Asurion knows that I do not care about the curious glances of Monkey. I grew inured to them back in the blossoming gardens of the Lilithon. They curse me from afar. They follow my every move. They ward themselves against me. Let them. After all, what can be done with such weak-minded, primitive creatures?
Shoot him in the head.
And still, one monkey stunt has caused the cup of my patience to spill over. She dared to approach me, to speak to me, and touching my hand, she suggested that we withdraw somewhere private. She wanted Morag. The mere memory of it stirs up a tempest in my soul.
I have no idea what she's talking about. Fraternizing with the Xenos, unspeakable heresy. Show me to this madwoman, and I shall see that she is suitably punished. Were you truly so offended by it? My people have behaved contemptibly, and I apologize for it. I wouldn't mind going somewhere private with you either. It's like how people behave. Try to spend your time somewhere more out of the way. Show me to this madwoman, I shall see that she is suitably punished.
She is already dead, Elantak.
Uh-oh.
I could not let the offense go unpunished, so I took her life myself.
Next time, ask me before you decide to take justice into your own hands. Let this be a lesson to all the other fools. Do not ever kill my subjects, Urilet. This is your first and last warning. Ask me before you take justice into your own hands.
I am standing before you now, precisely to avoid a repeat occurrence. Try to imagine, Elantak, being lusted after by a wild beast. It is foul, disgusting, so vile that it makes your very soul shudder.
So I don't have a chance either then. Tiger, saw a YouTube video the other day that suggests that letting your navigator points go below 3 was a bad idea. They've always been almost below 3. Very rarely are they above 2. So I don't know how to make them go up. There's no chance with you. My people have behaved contemptuously and I apologize for it. I'm also repelled by the thought of a human desiring an Aldari. I understand that this incident was unpleasant for you, but it does not mean that all humans are animals. You're an exotic animal to my people. Get used to it if you want to continue traveling on the ship. For you, I am willing to become a wild animal or a docile pet. You dislike how people would behave. Try to spend your time somewhere more out of the way. Speak to my subjects. You will not be bothered again.
Your words warm my soul. Very well. I will leave now. Do not forget your promise.
You can do stuff to build them up in your early stages, apparently. Yeah, well, they don't tell you about that. Just, I don't remember any mention of being able to build up those points. I hate spoilers, but it seemed like there is a built-in annoyance to be avoided. Oh, I have a feeling I know what that is. Ran into it during the beta. I have an idea what that is. So it's kind of not really a spoiler to me. But I still don't know how to get the more points. So, because I never bothered. Because they don't tell you. I don't remember being instructed on how to build up points. Unless it's in a encyclopedia somewhere. I guess you can see if we can look that up. After we visit the system. Okay, inventory, character, journal, Corpus Valencius. Forbidden Grimoire, Mechanical Dictionary. Well, that doesn't really help me either. So, navigator points. Insight. Special resource acquired by exploring the Coronis Expanse by scanning new systems, anomalies, or participating in non-combat space events. Navigators use it to build new warp routes, as well as to make them more stable and safe, in as much as possible. See, that's not really helpful, other than it tells you to explore, but in order to explore, you have to use up those points. If that's what it is. Look, it's a planet. I'll go clockwise. Guys, there's this thing the devs didn't document. Oh, yeah, shocking, isn't it? Phlogiston. Phlogiston. That was Phlogiston. Rare priceless crystal born within flaming magma under immense pressure. Their energy potential is tremendous and fully justifies the cost of harvesting them, measured in the lives of miners killed by irradiation. Fine, we'll build one. We'll build a mine. Oh, look, stuff. Area tech mechanism fragment. You stumble upon the plundered remnants of an ancient imperial vessel and intricate stuff. So we're done. There's my battery. Is this what I just picked? No, that's shortened. Auger array. We have better. So do we want to go slower and have trouble with low acceleration or braking, or sorry, go faster with lower acceleration or braking, or go a little bit slower with better acceleration and braking? I know. So what we just picked up wasn't something we can actually use, it looks like. Upgrades. No upgrades yet. Posts. Oh, what's she good at? Master Cannoneer. 5. 98 Shield Master. 75. Warp Chandler. Well, she's better. Master of Etherics. Wow, she's close.
Hey, bag of water. It is time to take a break.
Not yet.
Go stretch your legs.
Not yet.
Your next break is in 1 hour.
We have some planets to scan real quick. I think that... scan. Promethium. For Promethium. We have 1 whole Promethium currently. This is basically fuel, right? Last steel 2. We won't build them. That we don't need 2. If it was like 7 or 5, maybe, but not 2. We're already pulling in 9. That's why. Nothing. An ash world. Wonderful. Okay, well, we'll stop here. Call it a day. And we get back from break, we'll move on to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, Treasure of the Midnight Isles with View Group 12, see how they died today. And that. And if you're here specifically for Rogue Trader, we play this on Thursdays and Sundays. So that's that. Gonna get up, stretch my legs, get some water, that kind of thing. I'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll move on over to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Thank you very much for watching. Be back shortly. Enjoy the dog video.